Okay everyone, I'm going to show you guys how to do a video training. Yes, I'm holding my phone because for some reason my laptop does not like my voice and makes it too quiet. So there'll be times I put the phone down for a minute. So at the very top of your page, you're going to hit train. For any of you that have already done this, you already know the LoRa image training and where you can go right here to take a course. Now we're going to add a video course. Obviously, that's how you got a hold of this video, most likely. This is going to help you with the video side instead of the image side. On the regular courses that are here, there'll be a video LoRa training course that you can take. I would highly recommend you take that because you're going to waste more money training LoRa's than you are taking the course, and that's going to really it's going to upset you because there is no refunds on this. So if you don't understand it, take the course. You do not get a refund for bad results, incorrect usages, or a lack of understanding. So this is what this is kind of about. So this is the important part, what you're going to name your LoRa. So it could be as simple as a dance. So sorry, it's blurring in and out. For you don't really want to put dance. You want to put like what kind of dance it is, or whatever it is that you're doing. Just come up with a name for your LoRa, your model. So I'm gonna put dancing girl just for the sake of this. I would make it much cooler if you're gonna actually stick with it. And then the trigger word. Now this is important that you do not use a word that already exists. You kind of want to make a word up. So you don't want anything that could possibly be already in the checkpoint. For the instance, this would be Wan2.2. You don't want it to be associated with an actual word. So what I always do is I'll do YSP for your spot, then underscore, and then instead of dance, you can put DNC, and then GL for girl, and then heck, throw a number on it, 12. Okay, so that clearly is not going to be in that model at all. So just make it extremely unique. Then you're going to go to description and tell, with some notes about what this LoRa is supposed to be doing. LoRa rank, you're going to want, it explains it under here on what ranking is. I believe most of mine are trained on 16 or 32. I would not mess with this. Training epochs, keep in mind, this is going to up the price. 50 epochs is going to take 20 hours for this to complete. Why? Because our settings are different than every other site's. We don't want you to sit there and try getting results over and over and over and over again and wasting a ton of money because we own the GPUs. Now, if it was a GPU that we were using on the cloud, not a big deal. You spend money, I get it, and then I don't really care, like every other company in the world. But in this case, I don't want you to be making a video that you can't, a LoRa that you can't even use. And then, you're going to blame it on the site even though you have no idea what you're actually doing. So I would leave it at 50. Now, if you're doing something extremely complex, boost it up to 60 or 70. You can go all the way up to 100. Or it looks like it says here that I think it's capped at 100, so don't go more than 100. Now, that's going to take 40 hours, so keep that in mind if you go to 100. So I wouldn't do that. 50 is where I've been generating mine. And honestly, a 55 would be okay. Learning rank. This is what I usually do. I like the 2E4. It's aggressive on the high noise. For like quick motions, bobbing, I'm going to use very censored words here, rhythmic motions, repetitive, thrusting, stuff like that, you're probably going to want to use 2 anyways. So that's just a learning rate. So this is a perfect setup. And honestly, I'm almost positive I use 16. Let me put down my phone for just 1 second and double check. Because if it's 16, I'm going to change that to where it stays 16 because, like I said, I don't want you guys getting bad results just because of something that could have been avoided. So it looks like all mine are at rank 32. So that being said, let me pop back up to the, there we go. Okay, so rank 32. So you don't have to enter a description, but you do have to enter these things. It looks like you don't actually have to enter a trigger word, but you're going to want to because you're going to waste your money if you don't. So these settings here, and then go create training job. Now here is what you're going to want to do. Now I'm going to put the phone down for a second because I want to grab a video. I'm going to grab one video that I know is safe for work. And then you're going to hit auto caption. Now you can caption it yourself if you're very familiar with how to caption. And depending on how overused the GPUs are right now, exactly. So I will have that fixed momentarily because most likely the GPUs are absolutely floored because we've gotten a huge amount of people sick of another website and their restrictions, and they've been moving over here. So the cards have been absolutely just annihilated. So a good prompt is or caption is completely different than the way that you would do your image captions. For like image loras for like STXL, Illustrious, Noob AI, and Pony. The captions are more or less like small pre-cut sentences. So you're going to want to describe things, and like I'll just put the phone down again for a second. I'll try to read one. I've got my kids out here playing World of Warcraft, so don't want to read one that's going to make them turn their heads. So I'll find one real quick, and I'll give you an example of the way they all are set up. The auto captioning really only works to grab like one of those captions and be like, hey, I kind of like this one. And then you really need to keep some of the words exactly the same and only pick out the differences on the individual in it. So if you're using many different videos of, let's say, women doing a TikTok dance, we're going to stick with that. Then what you're going to want to do is your prompts need to be the exact same motion caption. So I'll give you an example because I believe I still have that job on here, and I'm looking right now. F training 530, and then sample prompts. Okay, nope, those aren't appropriate. But I'm gonna put this. I'm gonna just take out. I'm gonna read it so that you know exactly what I did that stayed the same. Okay, so the trigger word will always have to be put in there. So you can just copy and paste your trigger word, comma. A man comes in from the right holding his wand. Man aggressively grabs woman's hair and inserts his wand into her mouth. Woman performs rhythmic bobbing motion on his wand and on woman's head. Woman's eyes closed, close up, face view, soft interior lighting, static camera. Okay, so the second caption is relatively the same thing, but it would point out that she had brunette hair, or she was Asian, or you need to only add one or two tops, things that are just different about the person in the video. Because what you want is your trigger word to capture the actual motion and ignore the person in the video. So if I go to videos and I look at one of the prompts here, it says relatively the exact same thing I just read to you, except for it says a blonde woman with blue eyes. Now you can, if you only have one blonde haired woman with blue eyes, then it will exclude that part as part of the lora itself. It just captures the woman movement. So that's what you want to do. So you, as you could see, the way that the prompt was written. For example, we'll back here again, and I'm gonna go up here to where I should have wrote down the training word because I didn't. Okay, so if you auto caption it, it would have put the training word in there. We're just gonna put YSP DNC GL because I'm almost positive that's what it was. So comma. Okay. So in the instance of this, it'd be, comma space, a woman. Okay, I'm gonna type it out first so that I'm faster. With blonde hair, and she is going to be woman with blonde hair. I'm just making sure I word this perfectly. Blue eyes. Okay, so comes in or starts dancing, swinging her hips back and forth with her arms raised. And then describe the lighting a little bit. So is it bright lighting? Is it soft lighting? It only needs to be one thing to kind of just put the focus on what the video is of. So, for instance, I'm going to say soft lighting, static camera. Okay. So, this is how it should look. A woman with blonde hair. It should say starts, not start dancing. So, starts dancing. Swinging her hips back and forth. I did a bunch of spelling issues here. I'm in a hurry. Yeah, even softly done wrong. Static camera. So your second video, let's say that she had brown hair. So a woman with brown hair starts dancing, because if it's off like TikTok or wherever you're getting your video from, they're obviously going to be different people. So just pick one thing. A woman with brunette hair starts dancing, swinging her hips back and forth. Keep everything else the same. Okay, everything else. I mean, you could put, if the lighting is like really bright, you could change that. But I mean, other than that, they're probably all going to be roughly the same. You don't want dark videos anyways. But you need to have at least 10 of them. Okay, so 10 is a good training amount for the way our settings are set up. And this is another thing that's different between us and everyone else. Our site does repeats of 4. So every video that you upload, like that one, would be repeated 4 times. It's seen 4 times. So that's, over 50 epochs. That's 20 total times per video. So that's, it'd be the same thing as having 20 different videos, only seeing it once. Okay, so that makes it to where you don't have to have as many videos. It does increase the amount of training time, but we also have a very high amount of frames that it reads on our tuner through Koya SS. So it will read 5 seconds worth of the video at 16 frames per second. Okay, so that is a lot. That's a lot of VRAM. It's about 65% of the VRAM on the RTX 6000 Pro, which is 96 gigabytes, just in the videos alone. I mean, the regular model is like 45%, and then all of a sudden your videos are going to make up for that a lot of gigs. So that's the major difference. We could charge less and give you slop, or we could charge exactly what we charge and give you something good to begin with that you're going to be happy about. Every model we've trained so far has ended up coming out damn near flawless, except for the first two, while we were getting things in order. Now, why do we train on square images, square videos? Well, because if you train on portrait, from what I've tested, not what I've read, from what I've tested, then it really only produces portrait style videos. And if you do landscape, it really only does landscape style videos. But if you train on a square, it can do square, landscape, and portrait, because the general idea is focused into the middle. So if you do put a video, choose a video, make sure that the stuff that's happening is happening relatively centered in the screen, as close as you can possibly get. So like, here's the screen, right? You can see my hand. The action needs to be happening in this area right here if it's in landscape mode or portrait mode, either or. Now you can upload either or. You don't have to upload a square image. Just make sure what's happening is in the center of the center of the video, and you will be absolutely fine. It would be best if you had like a 512 by 512 or a 1024 by 1024 video. That would be absolute phenomenal. But if you don't, portrait and landscape both work fine when training square. So do that. Then the next thing is it can, I would only use MP4s. I really don't like the compression on the WebMs or the MOV files. MP4 is very, very good for just about everything. So I would stick with the MP4 so that it's not a decoding issue when it's being sent over to the other server for it to be started on. Once that's done and you got your 10 things going, there should be a button that, because I don't have 10 videos here, it's not going to show it for me. So there'll be a next button. I wonder if I can upload the same video over and over and over again just to kind of get past this page. Doesn't look like it. So for the sake of this, I'm just going to go ahead and load videos. And then, oh, okay, so start training. Start training. It's going to ask you again, this is final, how many epochs, and final, just double checking with you, and then you hit start training. Now, it's for for 10 videos, it's going to be 30,000 credits. Why? Because you're not training the same as the image training. The video training is actually hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of images that it's training on. That's the idea, is every single frame is reading an image. So that's what it is. So you're paying for the time that the video card is basically not going to perform as well for people on the site that are generating videos, because you're going to take their video that generally takes 70 seconds and it's going to take them about 150 to 200 seconds on that one video card. It won't affect the others, but that one it will. And that is downtime, and that is being floored, at 300 watts for 20 hours. Now later on we are going to simplify this and make one job on one. So like the high and low safe tensors, that's what you're going to end up getting. Once it starts training, this is the cool part. You're going to get epoch every 5. You're going to get your first epoch, obviously, and it's going to show you the preview. Don't freak out about the preview. It's going to look like crap. It's epoch 1. Epoch 5 still going to look like crap. You're not going to start looking really like good until about 40 or 30. And then 50 probably is going to be where you're going to choose anyways. And then it's going to start training the low. Now, here's the thing. Your video, don't freak out, don't hit cancel if your Epoch 50 looks completely off still. Like it's kind of doing what it's supposed to, but it's really not doing what it's supposed to. And I'll tell you why. Because you're only training one side of it. The other side, automatically, as soon as the first 50 are done, it starts training the low side. As soon as that one does even one, you're already going to see on Epoch 1 low, and you'll get to see it. It'll display right here. It'll be like all 50 of them for you to see, and then all of a sudden it'll say high at the bottom or low, and then it's going to show you 50 more. Okay? That is where you're going to make your decision, is which one of those look the best. Not the first 50, but the second 50. Now, when you decide what number you like the best, you're going to scroll back up to the top, and then you're going to pick which one you like the best based off of the images off the bottom, the videos off the bottom. So let's say that like Epoch 45 is where you want it to be. Okay, so Epoch 45 up here is going to say select Epoch. Okay, and now it's not going to look good up here. Keep that in mind. Your Epoch that looked good was 45 at the bottom. Well, keep that in mind that is now the actual Epoch. So the upper one is only one side of it. The bottom one is both sides together. So there's no clicking the bottom side. So once all 50 are done for both, and it says select Epoch, when you select the one you like, make sure that it's the same number as the one that you're selecting above. And then you're done. Then you, after it's done, you will have to send me an email, or I will just check in routinely. You can send me an email, you can message me directly on the site and say that your video training is done and you would like to have it live on the site. Okay, because I do have to put it into a workflow. I do not allow people to just put in random loras wherever they want to. It needs to perform well because other people are paying, and if they use yours and it doesn't look good, and it simply is just because it's prompted wrong, then we can fix your prompting real quick and then push it out to the community instead of having people waste their credits. And I think everyone would appreciate that. So that is the training, and sorry it took so long, but I wanted to cover everything on the video training. You guys have a great night.